Oh, it's Friday night. Welcome to Car Con Carne, the second episode tonight, and this is going to be a good one. But before we get there, Car Con Carne is sponsored by C&H Financial Services. C&H offers a variety of products ranging from traditional merchant accounts to a zero-cost payment processing solution, which eliminates expenses tied to accepting credit cards. C&H also offers cost-effective commercial lending programs, which can help you get your business the money it needs to make it through these unprecedented times. To learn more, contact C&H Financial Services at 855-600-2437 or go to chfs.us. So tonight, I hope you were watching. I realized that this is a podcast and it was initially intended as an audio only thing, but tonight video viewers will be rewarded because Rich Sparks is my guest. He is an illustrator, he is an author, and his new book, Love and Other Weird Things, it's dark, it's twisted, and it's incredibly funny. Hi, Rich.
Hi, how are you, James? Thanks for having me on.
Hold the book up. You've got the visual
Oh,
aid
sure.
right there.
Okay, here we go.
I love it. Are you sitting cross-legged on the floor?
I'm not sitting cross-legged. I am on the floor though. It's just more comfortable.
It's a Friday night.
I don't need chairs in quarantine. I don't need anything. I need a floor.
Time doesn't matter. Furniture doesn't matter.
Yeah, furniture.
All bets are off.
I mean, I've burnt it all, so that's fine.
So let's talk about this book of illustrations. Obviously, I look at a book like this, I think, well, this guy has been drawing his entire life.
I guess that's true. That's true. I took a long pause though. I took a long break. I was trying for the longest time to be a commercial artist and nobody was having it. So for the 90s, I was pursuing music and I just said, the hell with cartooning. And, but then I came back to it sometime, I don't know, not all that long ago, 5 or 6 years ago. I just said, it was Facebook, believe it or not. I know Facebook gets a lot of guff these days, but I started treating Facebook like a public sketchbook, and so it was like it was making me draw constantly. So that's what I do.
Well, Facebook gets a lot of scorn because it's everything in society. It's the good and the bad. I've now trained myself. And I learned this not immediately, but definitely during quarantine. You just have to unplug. You just have to detach. The old adage of don't read the comments, that's never been more true. It's debilitating.
Right.
So I've been taking myself for 1 to 3 hour walks every day, just completely unplugged, listening to music, just to kind of clean my brain.
I have been doing the same thing. I'm surprised we haven't run into each other. I've been walking and riding my bike. I've just been doing that a lot, and it's been terrific. So, yeah.
My new thing is I won't read news stories after like 8 o'clock because I've been having nightmares. Like I'll read the news right before bed. I'll have nightmares. It's kind of like those people who say, "Oh, I don't drink coffee after 3 p.m. I don't want to wreck my
I'm
sleep."
one of those people. I'm one of those.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who are like that, but I'm that way now with the news. Like I'm not going to go on news sites right before bedtime. I need to get a good night's sleep tonight. I got to work in the morning. I got stuff to do.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
All right, so back to Love and Other Weird Things. It's funny, there was a review on Amazon which said everything I would have said. Hilarious, smart, subversive, and weird. Get this book. That's it. And it is subversive. Like what I love about this, you have just quintessential dad jokes that you draw. I mean,
it's true.
Very literal dad jokes. And then there's the stuff I'll look at and think, oh, he really went there with that. Okay. Like, I'm not going to show it right now. We're going to show some of your favorite illustrations in a second, but herringboner is the one that comes to mind.
That's another favorite of mine. I didn't know if you'd appreciate me putting that on your show.
I love it. And it is quite literal. It is a gentleman in a herringbone suit who is excited by some sort of external stimuli.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that is a dumb joke. That's not the kind of dad joke I would say to my daughter, but nevertheless, yeah, it's just I guess puns, play on words. By the way, a lot of people would like to avoid this, but
when did dad jokes become such a negative term? When did it become pejorative to appreciate
I don't
puns.
know, because my dad was a master at it. So
Puns are glorious. I appreciate the people who blurbed your book. You have Michael Shannon, former guest on Car Con Carne, who
yeah,
said, I think we can all agree life is unbearable. At least that's how I felt until I saw the work of Rich Sparks. Now I'm fine. Michael Shannon. David Yao, who's his second act has been actor and director, but I know him best as the frontman of the Jesus Lizard. Try
yeah.
not to laugh. I double dog dare you. So I already like the book just based on who blurbed it.
I thought you might like the blurbers. It's very nice of them to do it too. And there's a reason why you and I have a connection. Well, first off, you and I, we've talked about this. A good buddy of mine, Jeff, is an old schoolmate of yours, like
Oh, right,
from back
right.
in Jersey, right? So that's a long time ago. But we have a connection through about David Yao through Ellen Phillips. Do you remember Ellen Phillips from Rust Bucket?
Oh, yeah, of course, of course.
Okay, so in the 90s, the band that I gave up art for was a band called Love Kit, and you used to actually play us on your
Yeah.
show, and Ellen was our bass player.
Oh,
So
right on.
yeah, and she and David Yao are a longtime couple. So I
There it
know.
is.
Yeah, there it is.
So I want to show, since people are watching right now, and it's hard to talk about this without the visual aid. I want to show 10 of your favorites from the book. The book is Love and Other Weird Things. So I'm going to do this screen sharing thing, and we're going to talk about
Okay.
your drawings.
Oh
And
no.
tell me when you can see the screen share. Should be there any
Um,
seconds.
there it is.
So this is Barney at the Chateau Marmont.
Well, in the day, I was just imagining that he had, in his heyday, Barney, he got all the chicks, he had all the best drugs, and then something happened. I don't know who it was who replaced him, Elmo or something, and he's going to Belushi it, unfortunately. But
Yeah, he's looking a little Belushi. That's where Belushi died. But look, maybe a little Nick Nolte. He's seen better days.
but those Hollywood types, they break down. When they break down big.
This one made me laugh. There are a couple of illustrations in this book that aren't immediate. There's like a second or two pause between looking at it and then getting it and laughing. Obviously, your eye is drawn to the hairy gentleman in bed, and then your eye is taken down to the corner to see Jack and the Beanstalk. This is straight punnery right here.
Well, it is, except it's breaking and entering, and it always was. And Jack is the hero of this story, and I find that very unfortunate. And he's a little pervy too, and so he watches people sleep, and I find that, well, I found it funny, but that aside, that was just a perk. Oh, this one.
Here
Okay.
we go. Here we go.
About this one, I owe my wife for this one, because I had drawn this, and I gave her just two fists, like this was freedom. But my wife said, "Wait a minute, where are the middle fingers?" I thought, of course, that's it. So I whited out those fists and put the fingers in, and I think that makes it. So I owe her for this.
Very nice. This is, again, very simple pun. This cracked me up. I'm also a horror fan who works 9 to 5, so this is perfect.
It's been a long time since I've had a bad boss, but there was a time back in the day when this kind of dude was certainly around.
And I get the sense you like a lot of that old classic horror stuff. One of the images you're not sharing is of the creature from the Black Lagoon. And I don't know how you describe that game or that macho thing where guys would take a knife and try to like stab in between each of their fingers back and forth.
Oh, Mumbly Peg.
What is it?
Mumbly Peg. That's the name of that
Okay.
bar game, like a bar game,
So you have an image of the creature from the Black Lagoon doing it. Of course, the joke being he's got webs between his fingers, so it doesn't work out very well for him. I enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah, I meant to include that here, but I mean, right? I mean, it's so stupid.
Uh-huh.
But revisionist history is, there's always, you can always mine that for a joke.
Absolutely. I love this one.
Thanks.
Taking
I like
old
this.
school mythology and putting a modern spin on it.
I just wondered. I mean, I guess that's what it's like. I guess that's what it was.
I love
Day in and
that.
day out. Oh, okay. So this was there was something I was reading. I am a comic book fan, but I'm more like old timey comics, like from the 40s and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm aware of what's going on in the comic book world, and I know that there are a lot of Batmans. A lot of superheroes now have a lot of versions of themselves.
Sure.
And I just thought, well, this would be in my hometown. This guy.
I I love it. And there's another illustration which you didn't include here. One of my favorites, and this was another example of it taking a second for the joke to register with me. You have Wonder Woman driving a golf cart, but of course the joke is the golf cart is invisible like her plane. That's a favorite of mine as well.
Oh, thanks.
This is hilarious.
I don't even know what to say about that. So
it's fantastic. I mean, what color is the sky in your world? Because you see things just a little more off than I think the rest of us.
Well, clearly just black and white for me.
Clearly.
I rarely work in color. So
do you do everything pen and ink or pencil?
yeah, just a pen on paper.
Like you don't have a fancy iPad that you're drawing this stuff on?
No. And I have nothing against that. And even though I'm not the most technical person in the world, it wouldn't be beyond me. It's really just it's a feeling, and I just like the feeling, and the feeling goes beyond making something. The feeling is like turning the paper and holding the pen and sometimes screwing up and having to wipe things out. Process.
Area 52.
That's
just
what they really don't want to talk about. They really don't want you to go there.
They're just like us.
They're yeah.
Is the one that's grilling wearing cargo shorts? I can't quite tell.
Yeah, they're nice cargo shorts.
And lastly, it's a sci-fi horror if I've ever seen one.
It's upskirt, man.
It's upskirt.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love these. Now, there are some that you didn't include, and this is why people should buy this book, Love and Other Weird Things.
Yeah, there's like 150 of them in there. So
there's one of a unicorn, except with several horns. It's the multi-corn. I enjoyed that very much. Another visual gag that took me a split second to register. There's a T-Rex aerialist, a trapeze artist. And the joke being, well, it's a T-Rex. There's some arm extension issues on the trapeze.
Swinging endlessly.
But okay, the best one in the book, I'm going to spoil it because it won't spoil it because it's great when you see it no matter what. At home, a dog is head of the house with a pet human, and the pet human is barking, so to speak, out the window at another human who's taking a leak outside by the tree.
Yep.
I mean, it's fantastic stuff. I love the way your mind, not the way that it thinks, but the way it's warped to the point where we get this stuff.
My mom is less thrilled. I'm glad you are. She's concerned about me, but
I mean, this got you. I mean, this is IDW Publishing, and this is the real thing.
Well, this is Yo Books through IDW.
Okay.
And I do have to give a shout out to Craig and Plitzia, who are the heads of Yo Books, and because he plucked me off of Facebook. And
really,
yeah,
that's how it happened.
It was sort of like it's like one of those one in a million things. It's it's like what's the drugstore in Hollywood, Schwab's or something like that. It's one of those things. It's like I was having a soda at the drugstore counter, and he said, "Hey, I like the looks of you," and so I'm very happy about that. And he's been the two of them have been great the whole time. And so yeah, it is IDW, and Yo Books is an imprint of IDW.
Got it.
Yeah,
I love it. So was this all stuff that you created recently? Like this wasn't stuff you had archived for years. This is
Uh,
newish material.
well, yeah, I have a, I don't know what it is, but for some reason I am sort of like a factory. I just crank it out all the time, and I'm sure it's replacing something that I have given up. I don't know what that would be, but um, uh, so there's a lot of material, and this was something that I really put the two of them through the ringer on. So there was a year-long lag between signing the contract and the book actually coming out. And at the 6 month mark, they said, now we have to stop. Now it has to go into production. Now you have to stop
Oh God.
messing around with the layout. And at that point, I said, well, would you mind if I replaced like half of them? And they said, all right, go ahead. Because in that time, in that 6 month period, I had made stuff that I like better. So, so there's like 3 or 4 more volumes to go. I
Yeah,
mean,
well, that was my next.
they don't know that yet, but
That was my
they
obvious
haven't
next
told me.
question. Oh, good. I don't want this gravy train to stop because I really love I love this kind of stuff. The sight gags, the dad jokes, the slightly twisted. Oh my God, he went there. Maybe uh, deviant behavior. This is just great stuff, Rich. This is so
Well,
much fun.
thanks. And if you were my friend on, we are friends on Facebook, but I mean, if you were to like just watch my feed every day, it's a lot of it is a lot of, I would not put in the book. It's very inappropriate. So
I need to pay more attention because you know how Facebook works. Like they'll feed you content from like 25 people and you never see the other stuff. And so
yeah,
I need to make a point of starting to like your stuff more often or like going to your page so that it algorithmically pops up under my feed.
you might be scandalized though. It's some of it
I
is just
Nothing phases me.
awful.
All
Yeah,
right.
I bet.
So the book is Love and Other Weird Things. It is a delight. That man, that his twisted mind is a glorious thing to behold. He is Rich Sparks. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks, man. And here's what I would recommend to people. It's available through Amazon, but go to the Penguin Random House site instead, and it gives you a lot of options for ordering,
Oh, very nice.
including Amazon. So thanks so much for having me, James. I appreciate it so much.